Morning, snowy day at Greenwood today. We've got about 6 inches snow at home, and anyone in England knows that the world ends when you have 6 inches snow. It's not too bad if you've got a 6-wheel drive ambulance to drive to work in. Yeah. For those of you that follow us on YouTube, we've got another little channel going, which is a build channel of this Pinsgauer ex-RAF ambulance. So there's a little thing in the corner. You want to click there if you're interested in weird stuff like this, and check that out. Back to bonsai this time of year. So we're beginning of March. We've got a really early spring. We've got larch trees that are just starting to pop buds. We've got some Katsuo maple that are showing colour on the leaf. It was always going to look like an early spring this year, as in previous years, but the last couple of days have brought a bit of a stop to that. As you can see, the nursery covered in quite a bit of snow. Got a couple of junipers out here that need pruning, so we're unlikely to get to them today. We've probably got -2 last night, -3. Yeah, so all the trees are a little bit frozen, so I don't think we'll be doing any repotting today. We've got a few trees in the studio we can do a little bit of work on. We just had a delivery of about 200 trees the day before yesterday from Japan, some specimen trees, so it's quite an exciting time. And when we're in the studio later, we'll show you a few of those and show you what we've got coming in. Yuji's just sitting in ambulance. Got his lift to work this morning, look. Riding co-pilot. So we'll get set up, and we'll see if we can get a little bit of bonsai work done today, despite the snow and the white stuff. Okay, we're back into the studio now, and there's all sorts of trees in here, trees that we've recently had in that we're preparing to offer for sale and to put on the website, and a few trees I'm working on of my own, and I'll just give you a little snapshot of what we've got in here. There's some interesting stuff in here at the moment, so I thought it'd be nice to show you. First one we're getting to is this multiple trunk hemlock, and we did a video on this just a few weeks ago. So have a look back and you'll see the video of when I was wiring and styling this tree. It's in this handmade pot by China Mist. You can see the pot's too small. The tree's starting to lift itself out the pot quite a lot. This tree's in here so that we can defrost it and do a repot. And the pot it's going to go into, that we've bought to put it into, is this large rectangle. It's always difficult moving that tree around because the branches and the trunks splay out quite a lot. With that size pot, it's really difficult to sort of get underneath it to move it around, and it's well overdue for repotting. So I'm hoping we can get it into this shallower, longer rectangle, and it will look a lot nicer. And we're going to show you that once it's done. Just yesterday, I repotted this Chinese quince. It's one of just a select few that we've had in. This is one that I'm going to keep in my own personal collection. Been after one for a number of years. Imported from Japan. Field grown, reported to be over 50 years old, and I'm not surprised with the size of trunk like that. And this has gone into a Walsall Studio ceramics pot. This was a pot that some of you might recognise. It had my big pink flowering CORINS Satsuki azalea in it, and we took the azalea out of this and we put it in a different pot, and I've saved that to use, and we've utilised it for this Chinese quince. And then up here, I'll show you some other things we're fiddling about with. We're going to do a video just shortly. The next video we do will be on this Japanese maple. We've got quite a few of these here we're offering for sale at the nursery. They're about 20-year-old, field grown, and we're going to do some trimming on that. We've got our Bonsai Bash event coming up in May, and we do demonstrations during that event. There's some details on our website and Facebook page of the event. And this is a Japanese white pine seedling tree, ungrafted, in a semi-cascade style. See the size of the trunk on it. Beautiful movement here. And this is the tree that I'm going to use as a demonstration tree on the Saturday. So if you want to see this tree being worked on, if you're in the UK, you turn up to our Bonsai Bash. That's the tree I'm going to work on the Saturday. that's the purpose of that. We've got a selection of little Korean hornbeams imported from Korea, little twisty trunks. We've got a few of these will be going on the website in the next few days. They're quite quirky, lovely little trees, quite interesting. And it's quite an early spring here in the UK, so the Capsera maple, Acer palmatum Capsera, always one of the earliest trees to leaf out. Beautiful apricot peach colour, and these are just going to be going on the website the next few hours or so. Over here we've got a little Japanese white pine, again an ungrafted Japanese white pine, and this is going to be a future YouTube demonstration. I've got 3 of these. I don't know which one I'm using, but we might use this one. I'm going to do some work on the branches, a little bit of carving on the trunk, so that's an interesting thing. What else are we doing? This is a very unusual tree. It's one that I bought to add to my collection. It's a Cornus Kusa, a Japanese dogwood. Some of you might be familiar with Cornus Mas, that has yellow flowers on it in Feb. This is Cornus Kusa, and they flower in summer. And they have like a magnolia colour bract on them. Beautiful base. It's a little bit covered up. I've just been working on these roots today. It was in this pot here. Let me lift it back in to show you. So it was imported in this oval. And I'm going to try and put it into something else. We're going to take it out of there. And I've got this Warsaw studio pot. And I think it might suit the tree better. It's quite a chunky tree. Let me just rest it in there to show you. It's not ready for repotting yet, but let me just put a bit of acid armour in to raise it up in the pot. And we just lift it in like that, and it's going to sit. Well, I'm going to take a bit of root off there to get it in there, so it won't actually go in yet. But it's going to sit in there, and the tone of this pot just picks up the colour in the bark quite well. So we're hoping to get it into there, and it will harmonise a little bit better. This next one is a Japanese black pine, Kotobuki, dwarf needle variety of black pine, very short needle, and this is a recent import that we're either going to sell or we're going to keep, depending on. I'd like to keep it, but I'd probably also like to sell it. So beautiful tree, very old bark, just an elegant tree. Branches are in the right position. There's just no ugliness about it. It's just a really, really elegant tree. And over here we've got another Chinese quince from the same batch that's being offered for sale. And just here my rough bark Japanese maple Acer palmatum Arakawa, and it's had a little bit of moss on the trunk, so we've just been using a little bonsai jet wash to just clear the moss out from in between the bark. So that's in here for that purpose. We've got most of it done, a little bit more to do, and because it's been in the studio for the last week, it's just starting to leaf out a little bit. These leaf fairly early, and that's in a beautiful handmade pot by Gordon Duffett. So I've got lots of work on in the studio at this time of year. It's enjoyable work because I'm working on some beautiful trees, and it's really nice. It's a good time of year for me to be working on exciting new trees that I bought in, that we can get on the website and we can offer to many of you as well, that you can hopefully purchase to introduce into your bonsai collections. And it's just an exciting time of year, quite busy. So now I'm going to get on with this cornice. I'm just going to comb out the edge of this root ball here, see if I can take this back about 1/2 inch or so and get it into this pot. We've exposed quite a bit of root here, more than was showing before, so it should look quite nice. And this thickness of trunk can take this depth of pot. And these get quite a nice autumn colour on them, orange and reds, and I think that in autumn colour it will suit this quite nicely. And the beautiful flaky bark is also quite interesting, but a very unusual tree. So I just wanted to give you a little snapshot of what we're working on, and when we get a bit less busy with this sort of production side of things, we'll try and get another video out for you on that Japanese maple and show you some other trees that we're working on here at Greenwood. If you haven't already, please give us a like, give us a subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new videos that are coming up shortly, and thank you very much.